Good morning. Good morning from the Bullitt County Historical Society, and also from me and Mr. Bill over here on Savannah Avenue at the Hideway. There are several paths between Statesboro and Athens, Georgia. I know all of them by heart as I've traveled this distance all my life. Mother and Daddy and Paul all graduated from UGA, as did I. For 4 years, I made the journey often when I matriculated at the university. Daddy graduated in 1934, Mama in 48, and Paul in 1975, and again in 1977, and me in 1980. In the southeastern corner of Oglethorpe County is a quaint village named Philomath. Another fabulous village in Oglethorpe County is Lexington. I would really like to do a road trip with some of you to both of these this fall. The village of Philomath was first called Woodstock and was settled in 1790. It was the first incorporated town in the county, and its settlers came from North Carolina and Virginia. Names associated with these people include Glenn, Robertson, Drake, Daniel, Reed, and Milner. It was incorporated in 1829 by the state of Georgia. This is a very old community in Georgia. Woodstock became known for its regal hospitality and its love for culture and education. A boarding school was established for young men. It was named Reed Academy, and it was known throughout the state. Statesmen such as Robert Toombs and Alexander Stephens were frequent visitors and often made speeches at the school. Students were housed in small cottages located in the backyards of some of the homes. States' Rights was a stagecoach stop between Atlanta and Augusta and was 4 miles from Woodstock. It was the closest post office. Citizens applied to the Postal Service only to find out that the name Woodstock was already used in Georgia. So that they would not have to go to the town's States' Rights, Alexander Stephens suggested the name Philomath, which means love of knowledge. This was submitted to the Postal Service, and Philomath was accepted. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president of our country, was a frequent visitor to Philomath. His father was a Presbyterian minister in Augusta and was often a guest preacher at the Philomath Presbyterian Church. This church was erected in 1840, and it still stands today. His family came with him and stayed at the home of John J. Daniel. Woodrow Wilson loved the town so much that he and his mother often spent their vacations there. The Presbyterian church was called Liberty because, though built by Presbyterians, all Orthodox denominations were allowed to use it. I love that. The Presbytery of Hopewell, formed November 1796, held its first session in Liberty Church. This structure was a log cabin. The Great Buffalo Lick is located near Philomath. It's a clay pit where animals come to get nutrients found in the soil. The Cherokee and the Creek Indian tribes used it as a boundary to transfer land to the state of Georgia when James Wright was Georgia's governor. I talk about this Great Buffalo Lick in great detail in the Tidbit on William Bartram's Travels Through Georgia. Philomath was the location of the final breaking up of the Confederate government east of the Mississippi. The Confederate President Jefferson Davis and his cabinet separated in Washington, Georgia. His cabinet met at the home of John J. Daniel in Philomath. Confederate generals Breckinridge and Duke were in command. They were bodyguards to President Davis in his flight from Richmond, Virginia. It was decided that it was a needless expenditure of blood to continue the struggle, and the stars and bars of the late Confederacy were forever furled. The last council of war took place in the parlor of the Globe. The Globe is this home in Philomath. The parting addresses were delivered from the porch, and after the soldiers received their small paychecks, they were released from service in the Confederate Army and departed for their homes. The Globe is a Greek Revival structure built for Robert Cunningham Daniel I and his wife, Emily Milner, between 1830 and 1833. There is another home in Philomath that is almost identical to the Globe. It is the Glenn Calloway House, which was built in 1840. Philomath is indeed a culturally rich little hamlet in Georgia to this day. Thanks for spending some time with me.